Good evening, gentlemen. My topic for this speech is homelessness. Homelessness is defined as a social category of people without regular housing or dwelling. They are otherwise unable to maintain safe and adequate housing. According to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, there were 643,067 people living in shelters and unsheltered places in 2008. That number has increased in the past 3 decades. The number one reason for homelessness is the lack of affordable housing. The next is mental illness, followed by substance abuse and low-paying jobs. Many people can't afford housing due to living on minimum wage. Mental illness plays a part because people can't afford health care. Substance abuse contributes because many people have other problems that they can't handle, so they turn to drugs. Low-paying jobs, the money they are making is not enough to pay their bills, and they often wind up in financial debt, which sometimes causes them to lose their housing. Minor problems of homelessness are prisoner release, unemployment, and poverty. When people are faced with these types of problems, they tend to turn to violence or become victims of violence. According to annual reports, homelessness males are more likely to be homeless than female members. Of the majority of the groups, men older than the age of 31 and alone are more than likely to be homeless. More than 2/5 of shelters homeless have disabilities. At this time, white non-Hispanic males are at 38% and children are followed by 20%. These numbers have increased since 2008. According to the U.S. Conference of Mayors, the demand for emergency shelters in 270 cities has increased. It is not accurately known approximately how long a person stays homeless. However, statistics have shown that 80% of homeless people are homeless less than 3 weeks because they typically have more access to social and economic resources. However, when housing and shelters are not available, people are forced to live on the streets. They sleep in places like abandoned buildings, parks, underpass, and catwalks. Fortunately, there is hope for the homeless. In 2009, President Obama passed the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. This act is to help each state make provisions and provide additional assistance and resources to help prevent homelessness. Also, the U.S. Congress appropriated $25 million to the McKinney-Vito Homeless Assistance Grant to help with rapid housing programs. Organizations around the world continue to ask for money to help decrease homelessness. Many advocates for the homeless say that people's attitudes play a major part in how a homeless person handles their situation. Evidence has shown that many people complain about the presence of homelessness. However, society still has compassion for the homeless people. Many homeless people complain that the police officers are their biggest problem. They feel that if they are not bothering anyone, then the police should not bother with them. Homeless people don't have no way of communicating, so they often